Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Ascolese, the inventress. I'm the CEO and founder of Inventing A to Z. And here we are on my podcast, the Inventress Podcast. And you know, if you're watching the podcast, I always have very, very interesting guests on. Well, today I'm very, very proud to introduce you to Emmanuel Coffy. He is the CEO, founder, and attorney, Esquire, patent attorney, trademark attorney. Please meet Emmanuel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Sure,
So,
it's my pleasure to join you.
so I did my mini introduction and there's a lot more to say about you. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about your practice. So did I get it wrong? Wrong or right? Correct. I'm hoping it was correct. Coffee or Kofi?
Coffee. Yeah, that's fine there.
Okay, good. Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk. So let's talk about how long you've been in practice, where your practice is, and what you do, and what differentiates your practice from any other patent attorney and trademark attorney.
Oh, great. Thank you. Uh, Again, it's a pleasure being here with you today. I started out as an engineer. I have like 19 years of engineering experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then at a certain point back in 2000, they were outsourcing and I was getting older and they wanted a new engineer. And I said to myself, what am I going to do? I need to get into something that where my gray hair is valued. And so I thought to myself, and I said, okay, with a background in engineering, I can become, if I become a patent attorney, take the patent test, then I can, I'm sorry, if I become an attorney, take the patent test, then I can become a patent attorney. And so did I. And
So
went to school.
wait a minute. So this was, you said in 2000?
Right.
Okay, so in 2000, you decided to become a patent attorney. You were an engineer prior, so you went to law school, obviously. You went to law school, right? You took the bar,
Right.
you passed the bar. Okay, you skipped over all that. I went from being an engineer to a patent attorney. Okay,
Okay, sorry. Well,
no
okay.
worries. I love it.
And one thing is, during all the time that I attended law school at night, mind you, because
Mhm.
during the day I was working as an engineer and going to school at night, uh, uh, law school at night. So it took me 4 years rather than 3 years because I was doing it on a part-time basis and also going during summertime. So I had no vacation for 4 years straight. And then after passing the regular bar, then you have to take the patent bar. So I had to do all of that. And by 2006, I believe I'm sorry, by 2008 is when I closed everything and became a patent attorney. But meanwhile, I couldn't find anyone to train me because no one wants to train you. You want to be a patent engineer. Good luck. So I said, okay, what am I going to do? I went to work for the U.S. government as a patent examiner. So I spent 2 years there. All of that now, looking back, really differentiates me from your regular patent attorney because not everyone had such a long career as an engineer, nor did they work for the patents office. And added to that, I'm also an inventor. I have my own invention, and I'm an author. I wrote a book. So all of that put together would differentiate me from your regular patent attorney or IP attorney, for that matter.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. So you did your engineering at United States Patent Office, USPTO. That's where you were practicing your,
Oh,
is that where you
that's where I practiced patent law.
patent law as well? Okay. And I say
Yeah,
this because, I mean, they're engineers that are involved with, USPTO as well. So
right.
you
As
had
as as examiners, yeah.
exactly as examiners. No, that's very, very interesting. And many people don't know that about when you're getting a patent, how important engineering is, right? Your engineer drawings or your mechanical drawings when it comes to developing a product and having USPTO examine it like you were doing.
Right. You need to be able to understand the inventor The inventor, you need to be able to communicate and understand the inventor so that you can properly claim their invention.
That's a skill set. That is a skill set, I have to say, because I explain to my clients that you need to explain it to the patent attorney, right? The patent attorney has to understand you and what your product is in order to speak the proper language to the examiner, right?
In order to speak the proper language to the examiner. Exactly. Yes.
To the examiner. And let's
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit, because I think most people don't get that part. You know, I've worked with many different patent attorneys. So working with patent attorneys, they will send their information to the examiner. But what does that mean? What does that mean to anybody? What does that mean to anybody who has a product, who has applied for a patent, and then they get rejected? So let's talk about the examiner piece first, if you don't mind explaining that.
Okay, not at all. And if we may, I'd like to preface that with this. In the United States, we used to have the patent system used to be a first to invent, versus now, after 2013, it's now a first to file. The entire world was a first to invent. I mean, sorry, the entire world was first to file, whereas the US was first to invent. And now, from 2013 forward, we are a first to file.
Isn't that
Meaning,
thing? Okay.
meaning whoever files their patent at the patent office first gets it. So it's referred to as a race to the patent office, because if you blink for a second, because what happens is that two people may have the same idea at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Right, and then the one who's diligent about getting the application on file will be the one to get it.
You know what? And great minds do think alike, right?
Yes, they say
Don't
that.
they
Yes,
think alike? You know, that's
yes.
why so many people out there say, somebody stole my idea. Did you tell anybody about it? No, I thought about it. The same things happen throughout our world, all over the world, for everybody, right? Things
Right.
happen, storms happen, electricity goes out, and everybody starts thinking the same way. I need to invent something to help if my power goes out. If we're flooding, I need to invent something. So this is where great minds think alike. So I love the fact that you're explaining this. So first to file. First to file. So we got to hurry up. When you get that idea, you better hurry up and file it, because if you're not first, you're last, right?
If you're not first, you're last. Right. And once you file it, there you are allowed 1 year to perfect your invention, because you come up with an idea. It's not. It may be a very rough idea. You don't have all the kinks out yet, so you file your provisional, and they give you 1 year to file the non-provisional. This is the provisional is not formal, but the non-provisional is very formal in terms of drawings, like you were saying. It's a very formal process. So you are allowed 1 year to do your R&D, or to do all the things that you need to do in order to come up with a product, and then so that you can file your non-provisional application, which
So,
will then become, if allowed or when allowed, will become your patent.
all right, so I have a question for you that everybody's asking, right? So when you're filing a non-provisional patent, what is it for? Is it for utility? Is it for design? Or is it just 1 year to have this process, this product at USPTO? I want to ask you a two-part question. Is it ever looked at, opened, and examined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it just sit there for 1 year filed under a number until you decide within that 1 year period to actually move forward, right? With a patent, with utility or design patent?
Great question. Yes, great question.
Okay.
The provisional is not looked at or examined. It's just a placeholder providing you priority to when it was received at the patent office. But it's not examined, none of that. And that's why it's really, again, it's not formal, it's non-formal. You can take all your notes or whatever it is, you throw them all together and then you file it. Although that's not recommended, but you can
Right.
do that if you wish, because it's not formalized, but it's not examined either. And you mentioned something which is very important, being a design patent. A design patent can claim priority to a provisional application. So both are
Say that again.
utility.
Say that again. So, okay, you said a design patent can do what?
Can claim priority to a provisional application.
Okay. Okay.
So can a utility.
Mm-hmm. Right. So does it roll into it? So when you file a provisional patent, right? The provisional patent or non-provisional patent, the 1-year patent that you submit to the patent office. Now, in that 1 year, so September 1st, 2023 filed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's September, just say September 2nd or September 1st, 2024. Or let's make it earlier. Don't wait till the last minute, everybody.
Don't wait to the last minute. Yes, that's right.
So it's August 15th. Now we're coming up to the date. Does that patent that's sitting in the patent office that nobody opened, how is that, how do I even word this? If we're doing a design patent, how does that affect the provisional patent that went to the patent office that nobody opens?
Okay. Now, the design patent, again, would refer to the provisional application, to the
Okay.
date that provisional application was first filed. And then when the patent is issued, it will claim priority to that date. Why? Because if someone else has the same design and it's after the date of your priority, then that person that patent is not valid. And it may
Okay.
happen. Because it may happen, and that's why sometimes people ask why after I get up my patent is issued, I still need to do what's they call freedom. We're kind of jumping the gun, but why do I have to do what's called freedom to operate? The reason why it's because your patent, although issued, may not be valid because there was a period of time when there were a lot of applications sitting in the patent office that were not looked at.
Okay.
And they were confidential as well. That's the other part too. So they were confidential as well. So it may so happen that 2 patents are issued where one invalidates the other because maybe of a few days, by a few days.
Wow. All right. So this is here's a question for you. So the provisional patent is sitting in the patent office, right? The person who did this provisional patent doesn't do anything about it. And then, so this is what you're saying, I think. The following day, when it's 1 year to the date, but the next day, another person could come along with a utility patent and knock them right out of the water, right? So the provisional patent, the 1-year provisional patent that was applied for,
Mhm.
nobody does anything about it, because if you don't do anything about it, what happens? So if
Well, and if
uh-huh.
you don't do anything and the 1 year expires, although there is a 2-month kind of they allow you, but let's just say you don't do anything within that's it. It's no longer valid.
So you're done. So the person who comes along out of nowhere with this utility patent or design patent knocks you right out of the water because you never did anything in that 1-year period.
Because you never did anything in that 1 year period, right?
Okay.
We should also mention that you shouldn't really wait close to the 1 year because after you get your initial idea, and again, once you know that you need to get to the patents office as soon as possible, you're not going to wait. So you're going to go to the patents office, file your application, and then maybe, like I said, continue to work on your idea to make it perfect. You may have to do some prototyping and things of that nature. So, and let's say 3 months before the 1 year, you should start filing your application because that process in itself takes some time.
Right, right. So don't wait. Don't wait till the last minute. But you're
Don't-
clarifying. I love the clarification, and it's still it's not so simple for people to understand if this is not what they're doing, right? But thank you for clarifying. Now, I want to go back to the examination, the examining, all right?
Mhm.
Let's clarify to everyone out there that, what that all means when they are providing info documentation to you or directly to the USPTO. They could be applying for a patent on their own. I never recommend it because It's a lot of work, and if you're not a patent attorney or an attorney, it's hard to understand the language. But anyway, so let's talk about how important that is, the examination, the conversation that needs to happen between the patent attorney or to the examiner and the client developing the product.
Okay. Now, do you want to put a timing on it? And is it after the provisional application was filed, or?
No, the conversation, the how important the verbiage, what has to happen. So say I'm inventing a hairbrush, right? I'm inventing a hairbrush and I'm coming to you and saying, so this is a hairbrush. It has 5 bristles, right? It has 5 bristles, and I want this protected. So how, and that's, and then it has lights. Then it has a button that lights up. That sounds like a really good invention, actually.
It is. That's right. It sounds
All
like
right,
a good
everybody, forget that. You're signing an NDA, everybody. Everybody.
one.
So now, is this enough? So I'm telling you this. What else do I need? I'm telling you,
Okay.
this is
All
all I
right.
have. This is all I have.
This is all you have. Fine.
That's all I have.
This is what I do. I do have what's called an invention disclosure form that I provide the inventor, for the inventor to describe their invention, including any kind of drawings or anything that you have that can describe your invention. And what I do is I do what's called a very quick search, low hanging fruits, anything that would look like your invention out there. And then when we have an interview with the inventor, then we are able to speak with the inventor in a more intelligent manner, in order, like you said, to tell him or her, well, there is something out there that kind of look like yours, but if you do this, maybe if you change the shape, if you add another feature, if you do this or that, then maybe we can make it work. And then she would go back to the drawing board and change the invention. Okay, because when you apply to the patents office, you need to have drawings, and they have to be formal drawings, like I said before. You need to have a description of what the item does. This is for utility application. And then at the end, you also have the claims. The claims are really what matter. The claims are like your boundary. If you have a house, the boundary to your property are the claims. So very crucial, very important, that the claims are right. You don't want them to be too broad, then you don't want them to be too narrow either. So the ideal is to have the perfect claims for your application. So that's the language we need to speak with the examiner: claims, specification, drawing.
Really important, very important, right? Because if you're leaving things out, and the examiner says, like for my brush, for example, isn't that too little? That's not enough information, right? I would think
That's not enough information.
my brush needs to be able to do something else, right?
Right.
It can't just have 5 bristles and light up. And then what? Because there could be something similar on the market, right? Or not on the market, that's patented, right? There could be so what do I need to do? I need to do, are you going to say to me, Lisa, this is, come on, 5 bristles and a light? Can't you come up with something better or different, or in addition to? Maybe whistles. I don't know. What else do I need? Do I need to differentiate it more?
You need to differentiate as much as possible, because the examiner is going to go and it's going to go out there and look for anything that is close to yours. Right. And the examiner has access to a huge array of databases of all over the world, of products that people invented. And they can use that in order to reject yours. So you don't want that.
So this spins into my other question. So I'm using a patent attorney, right? So I go to the patent attorney, I give him the 5 bristles and a light. And that patent attorney just submits that. Knowing, no, I'm not saying knowing, nobody's doing anything intentional, because whatever the information you give to them is what they're applying for, right? So now you've applied for this patent, and it's only these 2 things that this hairbrush does. The examiner says, this is, now it's going to cost you more money, right? It's going to cost more money because it's rejected, because we didn't have broad enough claims. to our hairbrush,
Right.
right?
And here's the danger, Lisa. The danger is that what is a patent? A patent is a monopoly for 20 years that no one else can do anything like yours. You are the only one with this one product. It's a monopoly. But in exchange for the monopoly, you need to educate the public about your product. So you need to provide enough explication so that anyone out there can make or use it
Okay.
after your 20-year monopoly period. So that's how science is advanced, and then the public domain becomes a lot is enriched by providing you the monopoly in exchange for you telling us how to use your product.
So
So you need to do it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You need to do it in such a way that it's fully detailed, because otherwise the examiner may say, oh, someone out there would not be able to use your product based on this description that you provide.
Oh, so we're explaining the use of the product. So not only does this hairbrush have 5 bristles and light up, they're made out of silk. They're made out of silk, and it detangles, and it squirts out a conditioner, and it does all of these other things, and what it does for the hair. So what does it do for the hair, and why is it important, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
And also, we might as well point out that it doesn't have to be a rocket to the moon, because the one example one example that I
was going
always
to say
use.
that next. I was going to say, and the hairbrush flies to the moon.
If we take the post-it note, for example, right? Post-it notes.
Yes.
3M has that. And
Yes.
how did they find it? It was by serendipity. They were looking for something else, and then they found the glue for post-it notes, and then they patented it. So it can be as simple as that.
Isn't that something? Right. So it doesn't have to be something so crazy that it's just something that it works. It works, and it works for the world. And that's great information. So I have a question for you about, now I'm jumping around, but the 20 years. So what happens on that 20th year? It's 20 years later. We created this product. Now, are there notices that go out to the person the inventor? It's now you're heading up to your 20th year. Or do we just have to know it's been 20 years? You better either, do you reapply? You reapply for the patent, create something else, or what happens after that?
Yeah, wow, good point. Now, there is a maintenance fee that is paid every 6 years, I believe, after your patent is issued.
Okay.
So 6 years, 6, 12, 18, then you would know, right? You would know because you've paid your maintenance fee, and oh, these are my last 2 years. After that, my patent expires. It goes to the public domain. And as we were saying before, it now becomes part of the public domain. So like you said before, either prior to that, you would find something that you can add to it or make it better. Maybe now there is new technology out there and then you come up with something different, but otherwise your patent expires.
So it's done. It's
done.
Over with, unless you decide to do something else, add something else. Very same patent, right?
No. That patent expires after
done.
20 years.
Over
done.
with. Okay,
Over
so
with.
I can make a new brush, and the new brush I made now has something that hangs off of it, right? So it's something that hangs off and spins. So now I'm recreating the same brush. See, but you know what the problem is? You know what I think? Now the brush has been out for 20 years, right? The brush has now been around for 20 years, and people think it's a wonderful idea. Now the whole world is probably going to come up with an idea like the brush, right? Because it's been around for 20 years.
Right. So in the meantime, you should be, like you said, you should be working hard to come up with another feature, adding a different feature to your brush, or do something else, so that prior to the patent being expired, you can file for a new patent. so that you keep your. Another, there are other things that people do out there as well. For example, when it comes to if you have a cute name for your brush that you want to trademark the name,
Right.
that's another thing. A trademark doesn't expire, and if you're using
Oh,
the
wait a minute. A trademark does not expire?
no, the trademark does not expire.
News. Breaking news, everybody. A trademark does not expire.
No,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
if,
thought it doesn't
if we,
expire, but you have
no,
to.
it does not expire unless you allow it to expire by not paying your fee every what is that, every 5 years or something.
Okay.
But it
Okay.
doesn't expire. It forever.
Great, great, great information. I love that. So, you know what? So this leads me to all of these brands. Just say, let's think of it. I just did a Tide detergent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tide trademark, right? Tide is a trademark.
Mm-hmm.
So the name is not going to go away, ever go away, but they have what the ingredients in the bottle is, right? So new and improved. Do they patent? What is the patent process of a liquid detergent, right? So
It
that's,
could be patented as a process, like you said.
but what happens after 20 years with it? Do they, is this where, you see new and improved liquid? Is that why they do new and improved? Because they're,
That's why they do new and improved liquid, because they now come up with a different process. But then again, and this is where it's kind of not convoluted in the sense they could keep it as a trade secret as well.
got it. Got it.
They don't have to patent it. Just like Coke, the recipe for Coke is a trade secret. It has been for 40 years or however many years.
So the trade secret, no one knows about the trade secret. That's a whole nother process. That's
That's
the
a whole lot.
that's a
Yes.
so exciting. Very exciting. So I mean, I so appreciate you coming on. And please tell everybody how they can find you. If you have social media handles, please express that. Tell us how we can find you and share. Thank you for sharing all of your information. You got
Thank you so much. They can find me on LinkedIn. Just my name, Emmanuel Coffy, Coffy. My website is coffylaw, coffylaw.com. And they can always Google the name as well, Emmanuel, Emmanuel Coffy, and they can find me that way. They can also call Lisa.
You certainly can. You certainly can. This is so enlightening. I love to hear from different patent attorneys, regular attorneys, because it's always interesting for people to learn and understand. And everybody has a different take on it or a different way
Right.
it's explained. And so I really appreciate your explanation on the engineering piece and just, the examiners who take a look at your product. This was all so important to all of my patented clients, non-patented especially, and people who are out there looking to get started in this industry. So I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for being on our podcast today, and look forward to seeing you again. Will you come back again?
Thank you, Lisa. I certainly will.
Okay.
I certainly will. Once you give me the invitation, I will.
You got it. Okay,
All
stand by.
right.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.